Are we not doing it? Come on. Crowded.
So based on where I am, people should move in. Does that make sense?
Like this? No, I'm
No, I just wanted to make sure that people could be seen. So not you can't be too close. I just didn't want anybody to be blocked. So as long as nobody's behind me, they're good. All right.
What's your name?
La- Ladon.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate you.
All right. I'm going to Lydia. Actually, you're good. We got Rod right there. Waiting for folks. Do we get more people over on the side, please? Yeah, yeah. I feel like we need like 2 more folks to come over here. Yeah, yeah. Good morning. How you all doing? Good. We're so happy to be here today. My name is DeMario Cooper. I'm the Executive Director of Popular Democracy. We're an organization of 48 affiliates across the country. We're in 35 states, DC and Puerto Rico. And we're really happy to be here to move this initiative, which is really about the values and hopes of us actually building a working multiracial democracy. All right? Yeah. When we think about that historically, the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution has the basis of the values of the country that we want to build. It is the first part inside of our Constitution that has the word equal in it. It is a foundational document and a foundational amendment that has allowed us to win most of the things that we love about this country. Those things include birthright citizenship, access to due process and equal protection under the law. Those things are supposed to protect the democracy against those who would cause an insurrection against it and try to take over it against the will of the people. And we are excited that today the people are actually talking about how we can work together to protect these fundamental rights that we have here. You know, when we think about the access to due process and we think about what's happening in our country right now, when ICE is terrorizing communities, where they're using 5-year-olds as bait to steal parents away from them, it's a shame. It's a shame. When you can have a fake warrant and kick in somebody's door, a working person, and snatch them out of their house, these are all violations of due process. These are all violations of equal protection under the law. And so today, we are here to really push back against the MAGA agenda. When they're talking about making America great, they're not talking about the civil rights movement. They're talking about July 8th, 1868, which is the day before the 14th Amendment was ratified in this country. And when you hear someone saying make America great again, it is similar to them saying states' rights. It is similar to saying segregation now and forever. It is these dehumanizing words and ideas that we have to stand up against. And so today, we're bringing people from across the country. Some of them are from Minnesota, some of them are from Arizona, some of them from here in DC, to tell a story about how we are working together to fight for a future for ourselves. And then we have some real courageous legislators and representatives. Yeah, give a shout out. Who've been standing up and fighting for regular people and real people issues since they came into the office, since before they came into the office, especially when I speak about the person who's coming up now. But we have to do this together. We have to do this together. Kingian nonviolence theory says, when there's conflict, there's an opportunity to deepen relationship. And we in a conflict as a country. And that moment is now. So we're grateful to Representative Tlaib for introducing this resolution with other members of Congress to defend the rights and protections guaranteed inside of the 14th Amendment. We're grateful for Representative Ramirez and Garcia for answering the call also. Right now, we need everybody who believes in human rights and human dignity to be your best self, to lean into your leadership right now. Right now. And with that, I want to welcome Representative Tlaib, who's introducing the bill, to talk to us about the bill and why she is choosing to do that. Thank you, Representative.
That's
what we're hearing constantly in our neighborhood. That's how we're protecting ourselves now. Think about it. We have to use whistles in our cameras to protect ourselves. And in 2026, my colleagues and I have to introduce a resolution that literally is titled, Defend the 14th Amendment. So this is not normal times. I'm tired of people trying to cut deals and bring us crumbs when literally they're executing our loved ones in the streets.
Yeah, that's right.
Like all of you, many of us here today, we're here to say loudly and clearly, proudly, we defend the 14th Amendment. It is literally the bedrock of our multicultural, multiracial democracy. It established birthright citizenship, due process, equal protection under the law for all people. The 14th Amendment was won through struggle, y'all. The struggle of abolitionists and formerly enslaved Black Americans who freed themselves from bondage and fought to transform our country into a true multiracial democracy for the first time. The struggle has continued for generations. We know this. Every day, our neighbors have fought to secure the full promise of freedom and equality embodied in the 14th Amendment. And we know it's still been a fight. The United States was not a democracy before the 14th Amendment. Remember that. It won't be a democracy without it. As we speak right now, this fascist government under Trump's control has a corrupt Supreme Court. Justices are planning to consider his illegal executive order to end birthright citizenship. Think about that for one moment.
Shame.
The text of the 14th Amendment could not be clearer. Quote, all persons born or naturalized in the United States are citizens of the United States.
That's right.
What we know is the corruption may have caused this illegitimate court to forget how to read. But we know our rights, and we know our fight will continue to defend ourselves. ICE, CPP, all federal agents right now are terrorizing American cities. Think about this. They're murdering members in broad daylight. We know before Renee, before Alex, they killed a father of two. Silverio, I can't believe we're not saying his name. Not only that, on off duty, they're killing our folks, Keith Porter. They're literally tear gassing our children, kidnapping our neighbors, and locking them in prison camps. Right now, I can't find my Guatemalan neighbor right now. I have no idea where he's at. Where many have died right now, medical neglect and violent abuse. This is the deadliest that we've ever seen. The federal agencies, more deaths than we've ever seen. The administration and this illegitimate Supreme Court have decided racial profiling is legal. You know how many people come up to me, had no idea? Rashida, are they allowed to do that? The Supreme Court gave them that permission.
Shame.
Shame. They are trampling over our rights to due process and equal protection, completely disregarding the 14th Amendment. We must fight back. I come from the most beautiful, blackest city in the country, the city of Detroit, and let me tell you, they taught me over and over again, it's not Congress nor the White House that transforms our country. It is us pushing the White House and pushing Congress. Today, along with Popular Democracy and my colleagues, I'm introducing the resolution to defend the 14th Amendment. This resolution serves as a call for every member of the United States Congress, no matter the political affiliation, and for every branch of government to renew our commitment to actively defend and uphold the rights and protections guaranteed by the 14th Amendment, to ensure that our democracy works for all of us, not just the powerful few.
That's right. Yeah.
We need leaders who are going to stand up for this, against this fascist administration, not try to rationalize against a no vote. Anyone who cannot commit to fighting for our foundational democratic rights should find a new line of work. Honestly, you don't belong in the United States Congress. We must continue to organize our communities and show our united opposition to this administration as the brave people of Minneapolis, Detroit, Oregon, everywhere, all across the country, they have shown us over and over again, from Chicago, from Los Angeles. The great abolitionist Frederick Douglass told us that, quote, power concedes nothing without a demand. We need to make that demand every single day. Community mothers taught me that. You all give credibility for myself and others who are supporting this resolution. And in Congress, and in courts, in our workplaces, in our streets, we will fight. We're going to defend our rights and defend the 14th Amendment. I am proud to stand here today with all of you. Thank you. Keep the fight.
Thank you, thank you. We defend the 14th Amendment. We defend. We defend the. We defend. Yes. We defend. I want to thank Representative Talib for your words. We really do appreciate it. I think the one thing that I want to hold on to that you were saying, and I will go a step further, is if you're a legislator or someone running this country currently who doesn't believe in the values of the 14th Amendment, you are unfit for duty. You are unfit to lead. And now we're going to turn it over to Delia Ramirez, Representative Ramirez, who comes to us from Illinois and has been a long fighter for immigrant rights, an organizer for regular community and regular folks. I want to give it up and give it over to Representative Ramirez. Thank you.
Buenos dias, good morning. It's always good to be in a house of worship with the people that are standing up for every single neighbor and loving on them, loving on the liberation and the community and the collective solidarity that comes from a coalition like this. It's good to be with you. As you just heard, I'm Congresista Delia Catalina Ramirez. Catalina was my grandmother, a woman in a small village in Guatemala who many people not know her name, but she was fighting for justice, fighting for liberation in that little small town in her own way. I'm also the proud daughter of Guatemalan immigrants Luis and Maria Ramirez, and I am a citizen by birthright. I'm the congresista of a welcoming state in a district that is proud of all immigrants who call it home. Let me be very clear. For more than 100 years, the 14th Amendment has reaffirmed that all people born in the United States are U.S. citizens with equal rights under the law, period. And it's important to remember that the 14th Amendment extended the rights granted by the Bill of Rights to formerly enslaved people, specifically citizenship. Today, it's no surprise that the Trump administration and the Republican Party, the same party that wants to erase our history, the same party that's attacking our diversity, the same party waging war on our cities, unleashing a paramilitary force to violate our rights and snatch and murder our neighbors, and the same party that's disenfranchising whole communities, also wants to roll back the clock on the exact provision that afforded so many Black Americans and so many sons and daughters of immigrants their citizenship. It's shame, that is right. But it's not surprising that the people who want to make America great are following the footsteps of those who wanted to keep America white. The motivations are the same. It is clear that they're attacking birthright citizenship because they believe a great America, according to them, is a white America. Well, they're wrong. Well, you know what else is clear, even more clear? The Constitution. It's Trump who's confused. The President of the United States does not have the power to change or interpret the Constitution through his so-called executive orders. It is why we can't give a damn penny to enable Trump's unconstitutional and racist behavior. That's why I introduced the Born in the USA Act, which would prohibit any government funds from being appropriated or used to carry out Donald Trump's Executive Order 14160 that, in his words, protect the meaning and value of American citizenship. Let me be very clear. This proud daughter of immigrants is building with you, Popular Democracy, a strong, courageous coalition of 131 members of Congress, making it clear to Trump that not $1 goes to undermine our Constitution, our rights, that's right, not one, or our liberties. and certainly not one more dollar to try to take the soul of our nation. I want to close by reminding us all that there's an important lesson. Our country's history is filled with stories of pain, but also stories of new beginnings. Like my mom, who traveled through the southern border, or other mothers and families welcomed by the Mother of Exiles, the Statue of Liberty, like the ancestors of so many members of Congress, some of them that somehow have forgotten their own roots. But it was my mother who carried me here so that I could grow up a proud citizen, a first-generation American, and eventually the first Latina sent to Congress from the Midwest. So look, our nation's story wouldn't be complete without the sweat, without the tears, without the joy and the hopes of so many citizens by birthright who pride themselves in being Americans. You see, I believe and I fight for a land of freedom, of opportunities, of equality, like so many descendants of those who were not born in America, but have built a life here. When I fight for pregnant mothers, for babies, for children from Sudan, Afghanistan, Palestine, Ukraine, Venezuela, Haiti, I am fighting with you for the opportunity that one day they can be an American and one day they can also be a member of Congress. And friends, I carry that legacy with me every day. So we show up in Congress unapologetically, and I show up as a daughter of immigrants and an American by birthright, reminding everyone that my experience, that your experiences are also part of Congress. We belong in Congress. Immigrant families, mothers, fathers, sons, daughters belong. Immigrants belong, period. Thank you. Let's keep fighting to defend the 14th Amendment. We will defend it, and we will get rid of the fascists fighting against it. Sí se puede. Sí se puede. Sí se puede. Sí se puede. What? Listen, before I was a member or a state rep, I was an organizer. I was out there in these protests with you, and it is in my soul to keep chanting for the fight of liberation. I just want to say a couple words in Spanish. Para nuestra gente, nuestra comunidad de habla español. Nosotros estamos aquí defendiendo la enmienda del 14, el 14th Amendment, porque entendemos que en este momento necesitamos a personas con valor, a congresistas que van a defender nuestra Constitución y nuestro derecho de ciudadanía en este país. Si tú naciste en este país 42 años como yo, o antier, como algunos bebés han nacido, tú eres un ciudadano en este país y vamos a continuar defendiendo tus derechos como estadounidense y como ciudadano de este país. Y lo vamos a hacer con una coalición diversa, linda, preciosa, defendiendo a gente que viene de Venezuela, de Colombia, de Haití, de Sudán y de Palestina, porque entendemos que nuestra liberación, nuestro futuro está conectado en la liberación y futuro de todos. Así que a proteger la Constitución, a hacerlo juntos y a defender las comunidades en este país. Gracias.
Sí se puede.
Sí se puede. Sí se puede. Sí se
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to thank Rep. Ramirez again for those words and actually leaning into the goal of this moment, especially when we're thinking about, what she just said is she's the daughter of immigrants who came here for a better life, and I'm the great-great-grandson of a man who died trying to go vote in Newport, Tennessee. And we can stand here together because the 14th Amendment has created more opportunity for human beings to be together in this kind of way. And I just want to take a moment real quick to talk about how the 14th Amendment gets enacted. After the Civil War, which was won by hundreds of thousands of black people joining the Union, escaping from their enslavement, joining the Union and fighting for a more perfect Union, fighting for this country that we live in today. Once that happened, there were 3 constitutional amendments called the Reconstruction Amendments. The first one was the 13th Amendment. It said you can't have slaves. An individual can't own an individual. The second one says that everybody who's born here is a citizen. That is a direct legacy from my ancestors. That is a direct legacy from my ancestors. And it is helping folks who come here today to find the same promise in this land that those folks were fighting in the Civil War to provide for me. There's a deep connection between our communities around this amendment. A deep connection. And we have to lean into that right now, because that is the thing that's going to help us move forward. And to be clear, having birthright citizenship did not just apply to black folks, and it doesn't just apply to immigrant folks. Like white folks, you get birthright citizenship for the 14th Amendment as well. I mean, let's be clear. There's nothing that necessarily defines you as a citizen prior to it. There's a real reason for us to actually be aligned right now, especially when someone's asking the question about whether or not how we're going to define citizenship in this country, which the Supreme Court has already agreed to hear a case about. This is a time when we need to partner with allies across different spectrums, and maybe you don't agree on everything, but the things that we do agree on, the things that are the core values of this country, we have to be able to stand together in moments like this. I got to move the agenda is what I got to do. Erica's back there telling me to keep moving. So next I want to bring up Representative Daniel Goldman, who is coming to us from New York District 10, and wants to talk to us really because, New York is under siege right now. ICE is coming in, ICE is doing whatever they want. And it does take us and take folks like him who's willing to step and stand in this room with us for us all to fight together to protect the values of our country. And so I want to pass it over to Rep. Goldman and give him a second to talk a little bit about why he's here. Thank you.
Thank you, DeMario. Thanks, my colleagues, Representative Tlaib and Representative Ramirez for introducing this resolution, but also speaking so passionately about the 14th Amendment and what it represents, which is the ideals of our country, start to finish. It starts with birthright citizenship, a fundamental element of this Constitution. They are trying to take away birthright citizenship as part of a larger attack on immigrant communities, a part of a larger attack on black and brown people. Donald Trump only wants a United States with people who look like him and who think like him. And that is not what this country is about. They are taking away due process. They're taking away equal rights. They are allowing for blatant racial profiling. They are violating our basic rights. They are beating us. They are killing us. And I want everyone to understand, we are all in this together, because an attack on any of us is an attack on all of us. My grandmother escaped anti-Semitism in Europe and came through Ellis Island, as so many immigrants did in this country. And I'm quite honored to be the representative of Ellis Island as well as the Statue of Liberty. And those ideals represent exactly what this country stands for. And what we are seeing around the country, what we are seeing in New York City, with ICE attacking our friends and neighbors, is unacceptable. This is a paramilitary going into cities across this country, trying to incite violence, forcing people to show and prove their citizenship. Imagine that in this country. That is straight out of fascism. And you know what? They're not going after the worst of the worst. In New York alone, more than 70% of the people who are arrested in this immigration dragnet have no criminal background at all, conviction or arrest. And they're diverting all the resources from criminal law enforcement to pick up our friends and neighbors who are trying to immigrate to this country like my grandmother did, like so many of us did, and our ancestors. And that is what makes this country special, and we will not let them take it away. Finally, I want to address the Supreme Court. This Supreme Court is going to have an opportunity to define what this country is about. Are we about that original Constitution that said black people are only 3/5 of a citizen? Are we going to define this country where people have different rights based on the color of their skin or their background? Or are we going to define this country as the land of the free, the land of opportunity, the land where everybody can work hard, play by the rules, and succeed? That is the promise of this country. That is what we are fighting for in Congress. And that is why we are all joined here together from different backgrounds, from different worlds, from different countries, from different areas, united in one thing, that the promise of America depends on our diversity and depends on our freedom. And we cannot and will not let them take that away. Thank you.
Ice out now. Ice out now. Ice out now. Ice out now. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Representative Goldman. Appreciate it. We're going to hear from a set of folks who are actually on the ground working in community, really trying to uphold these values of the 14th Amendment. I want to invite Rod Adams, who's the Executive Director of New Justice Project in Minnesota, has been in the community, part of the community response team that's been responding to ICE raids, and is a part of the Popular Democracy Network. I will say that the next three people, and people like them who are on the ground really fighting, are real patriots. Like the real patriots of this country. So I want to give it over to Rob real quick. Can you come up here and just tell us a little bit about what's going on in Minnesota? Thank you, Rob.
Okay. First off, I want to start by saying no one is illegal on stolen land. And again, my name is Rod Adams, Executive Director of the New Justice Project Minnesota. And back in Minnesota, as everyone has seen on the news, we are going through it. But we are going through it together. Because in Minnesota, we believe in the values of America, the values of protecting our neighbors, the values of loving our neighbors so much that we will put our lives and our freedom on the line to do so. In Minnesota, we believe in the Constitution, not as a slogan, but as a living promise. And we believe in it so deeply that right now, we are being forced to resist its violations in our own streets. When armed federal agents operate with impunity, when our neighbors are disappeared without due process, when fear is used as a policy, that is not patriotism. That is authoritarianism.
Yes. Yes.
And let's be clear, patriotism is not blind obedience. Patriotism is fighting for the rights of everyone, not a chosen few. Patriotism is standing up and fighting back when the Constitution is under attack.
That's right. That's right.
The 14th Amendment is clear. Due process is not optional. It is a core feature of this country. And yet due process was denied to Renee Good, it was denied to Alex Preddy, and Keith Porter. That is not an abstraction, that is the erosion of rule of law happening in real time in our communities, on the streets of Minneapolis. So when people ask us why we resist, the answer is just simple. We resist because we believe in this country.
Yes.
We believe in what our ancestors fought for to make the country what it is supposed to be now. We resist because we are the real patriots.
Yeah.
Real patriots are the people building networks of care when the state chooses cruelty. Real patriots are protecting their neighbors when ICE terrorizes our communities. Real patriots are refusing to let division, fear, and dehumanization define who we are.
Yeah, that's right.
There's an energy right now in this country, an energy being pushed towards scapegoating, punishment, and silence. And we're here to redirect that energy towards solidarity, towards accountability, and Lord, towards justice.
That's right. Yes.
And as the words go, right now, don't ask what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. And right now, your country needs you to fight back.
Yeah.
Right now, what the country needs is courage.
That's right.
What it needs is a resistance to a fascist regime. What it needs is defense of the 14th Amendment.
That's right. Yes. Yes.
This is what love of country looks like.
That's right.
This is what patriotism is.
That's right.
It is in the face of tear gas, rubber bullets, and being kettled, being pepper sprayed, standing up for our neighbors, and making sure that this country, our children, my grandchildren, and theirs, live in a type of country where everyone is protected under the law.
Yes. Yes.
Because if everyone is not protected under the law, we are not living in a democracy. We are living in a country that is divided, a country that is focused on fear. And one thing that I know to be true is that the people standing behind me, the reps who you heard spoke earlier, will do everything in their power to fight, to make sure that the American values of freedom and democracy and equality ring true. Thank you.
Fight, fight. Human right. Fight, fight, fight. Citizen human right. Fight, fight, fight. All right now. You're right. Fight, fight. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Rod Adams, man. Y'all give it up for Rod one more time, because that was fire for real. All right. Now I got another gift for y'all, because I'm about to bring Lydia from CASA, who's the chief organizer and chief of organizing and leadership at CASA, which is one of the largest organizations for immigrants' rights in this country. And Lydia has been on the front line fighting this fight for years now. So I want to give Lydia all the time she needs. Lydia, can you come up here, please?
El pueblo unido. El pueblo unido. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. That's right. That's right. Buenos días, buenos días, buenos días. Good morning. Mi nombre es Lidia Walter Rodriguez. My name is Lydia Walter Rodriguez, and I am the Chief of Organizing and Leadership of the largest organization that stretches through 46 US states with over 180,000 members. Our members are working class Latine, Black, Indigenous, Afro-descendant, queer, and immigrant. Together we are a community, we are powerful, we are CASA. I stand here with all of you today, fueled by all of the community power and love around me. And for all of the days that follow, remember that love, resistance, and fight forward will get us through these next couple of years. It will get us through the continued attacks of terror by this administration. And our elders and the freedom fighters before us, their learnings will get us through all of the fights that they have endured. Their spirits are in us and with us as we continue to resist and fight with love. ¿Se puede? Today, I want us to remember that the fight for our future generations' rights to be recognized as Americans is about more than just battles of legality. It's about our collective ability to truly be free in this country. When Trump the very day he took office, it was courageous pregnant immigrant women from CASA and ASAP's membership who refused to stay quiet. and joined to sue the administration to stop the implementation of the executive order. That very executive order would have taken effect in February of 2025 had these women not stood up and fought back. With our freedom fighters, we organized, mobilized, and resisted this racist executive order because we know this attack on our families, our future generations, and the generations before us who got us here is personal. It has been exactly 1 year and 1 month since these courageous immigrant women took action and told their stories through the courts and inspired thousands to also stand up and fight back. Never forget that grassroots power is key. From the streets to the courts, stand firm. Fighting against this administration and refusing to accept injustice, make it a plea to yourself and a reminder to yourself, because you are brilliant, you are worthy, and we will shine in this country. This fight has led to an initial victory I want to share with you, with a temporary injunction blocking the executive order last year, while the case moved forward. But the fight isn't over. Now the Supreme Court is hearing arguments that could threaten the very right that has protected millions of children born here, regardless of their parents' immigration status. Shame. This very summer, the Supreme Court will decide whether the 14th Amendment guarantees birthright citizenship for all children born in US soil. This isn't just a legal case. It's about safeguarding the rights that generations and generations of freedom fighters in our Black community have fought before us. Those rights were born out of struggle, sacrifice, and unapologetic demands of justice, where the fight for true implementation still continues to this very day. We are fighting to protect the rights of our future generations, our families, our communities, and our people before us. We stand in collective people power with those who refuse to accept second-class status. And we will continue to fight for a future where everyone who is born here can fully receive the benefits of the 14th Amendment, not just on paper, but in true practice. ¿Se puede? Can we do it? Yes, we can? ¿Se puede? El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. The people united will never be defeated. Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to keep it moving real quick, and I want to turn it over to LaDon Love, who is the Executive Director of Spaces DC. Yeah. Also a part of Coalition of Free DC, right? Also a part of Coalition of Free DC, also a part of Coalition of Popular Democracy. LaDon is a person who's innovative and thinking about how we move messages and has been like a real champion and fighter for people's rights across this country and shows up in a powerful way for all of us. So I want to keep it moving. I want to invite LaDon Love up to the podium real quick.
Reminder how tall Demario is. I am a sister, a cousin, an aunt, a mom, a granddaughter. On my father's side, Caribbean immigrants. On my mother's side, descendants of enslaved people. I am LaDon Love, she, her, and the Executive Director of Spaces in Action. We are here because our history is not abstract. It lives in our families, it lives in our streets, and it lives in our bodies. We must practice Sankofa and go back, tell the truth about where we've been, understand where we are, so we can fight for where we're going. The 14th Amendment was written after slavery to stop state violence. It was a direct response to Black codes, laws that criminalized freedom, forced newly freed people back into labor, and terrorized Black communities. It was meant to end the snatching of formerly enslaved people,
to stop states from seizing people without due process, to block racial caste systems from becoming law, to prevent fear from becoming policy. It was a promise. No state could deny anyone equal protection under the law, but the promise was never fully realized. When the Black codes were dismantled, they evolved into Jim Crow laws, segregation, voter suppression, racial policing, and exclusion that lasted for generations. And today, that same logic is alive. ICE operates with racialized surveillance, family separation, warrantless arrests, punishment without protection. That is not public safety. That is state violence. That is the modern echo of Black codes and Jim Crow. Safety comes from stability, childcare that lets parents work, healthcare that keeps families whole, housing people can afford, food on the table, clean air, clean water, education, legal services, worker protections. That is what the 14th Amendment looks like in action. It's dignity, it's justice. So today we choose people over punishment. We choose community over cages. We choose investment over intimidation. Raise your voice, stand up, call your elected officials. If you believe in dignity, rise up. If you believe in equal protection, speak out. And if you believe our communities deserve to thrive, take action today. We have to defend the 14th Amendment, invest in our communities, not cages, and we must not back down. So when I say defund, you say ICE. Defund, ICE. Defund, ICE. Defund. ICE. When I say investment in life, you say not cages. Investment in life. Not cages. Investment in life. Not cages. Investment in life. Not cages. Thank you.
Stand up, fight back.
Stand up, fight back.
Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back. Thank you, man. We got good cheerleaders in here, man. Y'all's professionals. All right, next we're going to hear from Jen Coffey, who is coming to us from Rights and Democracy. She's a volunteer leader, and she's going to come and talk about how healthcare is connected to this equal protection piece and this due process part of the 14th Amendment. So, Jen, can you come up real quick? Thank you.
Thank you. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that are among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This is the foundation of our country, that makes the very essence that makes America, America. I'm Jen Coffey from Manchester, New Hampshire. I took an oath to uphold the Constitution of New Hampshire and the United States when I was sworn in years ago as a New Hampshire state representative. It had no expiration date. More importantly, I took an oath to save lives and take care of people serving my community as an emergency medical technician. I am the proud granddaughter of a lieutenant colonel who served 30 years in the Marine Corps and whose name is engraved in Harmon Wall at Norwich University. He was a Marines Marine. He fought so that I can stand here today and defend the rights and humanity of my neighbors. I have always been secure in my rights as a human being in a country that is supposed to see us all as equals. Yet its very foundation is being destroyed at an alarming rate. Why are my rights and those of my neighbors being sacrificed so that billionaires can have tax breaks? My personal connection to the 14th Amendment is related to health care. I have pre-existing conditions. I've beaten cancer twice, and because of that, no one will issue me it equally. You cannot create two sets of rules. Healthy people can buy one kind of Medicare, and people with disabilities can't get it. The federal government is supposed to defend me against that discrimination, but I can't get anybody to listen. Pre-existing conditions are still held against the most vulnerable people in our country, the elderly and the disabled. Both sides of the aisle claim that pre-existing condition discrimination doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, it does. The federal government is failing to defend my rights and those of countless other people living with disabilities and chronic illnesses. We suffer and die, locked out of health care by greedy insurance companies that never seem to make enough profit to stop killing Americans. Billionaires profit while we die. This is not one bad company. It's a structure that defends insurance companies' rights to profits over the lives of taxpayers. The 14th Amendment guarantees equal protection under the law. When a public system of health care excludes an entire class of people, that is not equal protection. The 14th Amendment protects corporations, but it doesn't protect me. Right? Right now, the rules favor insurance profits, not regular people. Last year, Republicans' reconciliation bill kicked immigrants off of Medicare. Those are people who worked legally and paid into the Medicare system, cut off, even though they did nothing wrong. We have a two-tiered healthcare system that leaves people like me with scraps of healthcare and punishes people for things they did not choose. I worked my entire life, most of the time with at least 2 jobs. I didn't ask for cancer, and it wasn't caused by diet. It was caused by genetics. I got a shitty hand, and yet I stand here fighting for the rights of my neighbors, for the mom that's fighting to get their child care, for the son holding his head while he tries to navigate a system designed to say no to working and poor people, and yes to billionaires and corporations like United Healthcare, Cigna, and others who do nothing to increase positive outcomes in healthcare and everything to reduce costs by denying care. When I answered 911 calls as an EMT, I didn't care who it was, black, white, male, young, old, disabled, whatever. It was a human in need of care. That is the same way the Constitution is supposed to be applied, equally to all of humanity. Our constitutional rights are calling 911. How are we going to answer?
Due process is not for sale. Due process is not. Man. Woo. That's heavy heat, y'all. That's heavy heat. And you know what? Jen is bringing in this corporate angle, but we're going to talk about that later, hopefully. Next, I want to invite Devin, from Advocates for Transgender Equity, who is a proud Peruvian American and a person who's been fighting for transgender rights, which is also about what we're fighting here, human rights. This issue, the 14th Amendment, is an intersectional amendment. It means more than just citizenship rights. It means that you get to marry who you want, get to love who you want, get to go to equal schools, get to have worker organizations, right? There are Supreme Court cases that were fought and won. If you don't have money and you get convicted of a crime, you get to get a lawyer because somebody argued in the Gideon case for you to have a lawyer, to have a legal representation. Like, this amendment is fundamental. So I want to give it over. Devin. Said it right that time. I want to give it over to Devin from Advocates for Transgender Equity to tell us a little bit about how the 14th intersects with their work. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Devin Ojeda. My pronouns are he, him, and I am the Senior National Organizer for Advocates for Trans Equality. Last week, after the death of Alex Preddy, I was scrolling through my family group chat, and it was a moment that reminded me of how immigration policies impact families like mine. We are Peruvians who migrated in the United States in the 1980s due to the violence carried out by the dictatorship of Alberto Fujimori, a dictator with the same temperament similar to Trump's. While I was born in Lima, Peru, I was only 3 months old when I came to the US, and I became a citizen gen. My brother and sister, on the other hand, were born here in the States and gained citizenship by birth. All we know is this life in this country. Our friends and family are here. Our jobs are here. We are building our lives and our families here. My brother is married to another immigrant, and together they have a niece who is almost 2 years old, and she is the light of our family. Our family have already lived through trauma because of the violence we experienced in Peru, and now we are watching the same nightmare resurface here. It is. As we're chatting, my brother asked us to make plans to take care for my sister-in-law and for my niece if he were taken by ICE. My sister shared that she doesn't leave the house anymore. And that has been hard for her because she just began to make new friends. All of us agreed that we now have to carry our passports at all times. Because we know ICE isn't checking our citizenship. They're looking at the color of our skin. Our family feels overwhelmed by fear, and that fear makes something very clear. Immigration enforcement is not abstract. It is not theoretical. It cuts directly into families, which is why protecting them should matter to everyone. Yeah. And while on paper, repealing the 14th Amendment may not directly affect me, it could threaten my family's sense of belonging, showing how constitutional protections are vital for families like mine to feel secure and included. For me, that also means belonging here as a trans person, a trans man, married to another trans man. The Constitution protects my right to marry my husband, not only as a queer couple, but as an interracial couple as well. The 14th Amendment makes it explicit that my brother, my sister-in-law, and my niece are citizens in this country. And when the Trump administration does everything they can to weaken or strip the 14th Amendment, what they're really doing is trying to make our right to live here, to exist, to love, to build families conditional. And none of our families should have to live in this country on a conditional basis. To everyone here, keep showing up. Reach out to your senators, to your representatives to support the D14 congressional resolution, and remind them that the 14th Amendment is vital for all families everywhere. And for the elected leaders here, this is an opportunity to lead with courage. You can publicly pledge to defend the 14th Amendment at defendthe14th.org/pledge, and I hope you really do that today. Pa'lante con mucho amor, ICE out.
Thanks, Devin. We really appreciate those words. I'm gonna keep us moving real quick, and we're getting close to the end. This is like the last couple ones, but I want to pass it to Luis Vanegas. I'm actually thinking about the fact that he's a musician, and that there is no movement without music. And he's going to come and share a couple words with us, and then play a song, and then we're going to close out. But I just really appreciate everyone who came on this stage and spoke. It's really going to take all of us to stand up in this moment. It's going to take us joining together. It's going to take us having joy and listening and playing music and singing our songs, our ancestors' songs, and our new songs. And so I'm going to pass it over to Luis. Oh, I should say he's with Fuerte Arts Movement. Oh my gosh. Who's also a part of Popular Democracy. But the thing about the Fuerte Arts Movement is that they're a bunch of young creatives, right? And they're trying to figure out how to use this medium in order for us to move messages like this. So please welcome Luis up to the podium.
Good afternoon, y'all. My name is Luis Vanegas. I'm an artist out of Arizona. I'm here today, as he said, representing Fuerte. We are an arts activism organization. I myself am the son of the proud son of immigrants, and the only reason I can be here today is, due to birthright citizenship. I've enjoyed the privileges of citizenship, and now they're being threatened. Our communities are now being filled with fear, and if history has taught us one thing, that's never a good thing. Now is the time for us to stand, to fight back like those before us. I'm gonna do a quick song that's a cover of one of our local artists that they wrote, and I'm gonna just share this with y'all real quick. They call me stranger in my homeland, but my roots run deeper than their maps can. You can't deport me from my home. These are the roots I've always known. Before the borders, before the state, our people lived, our families stayed. No deportations, this is our land. We are not strangers in our homeland. Police lights flash on brown skin face, profile daily in every place. Ice at night and lives apart, but you can't erase this desert heart. No deportation, this is our land. We are not strangers in our homeland. No deportations, this is our land. We are not strangers in our homeland. No deportations, this is our land. We are not strangers in our homeland.
Woo. That's a whole new chant. Look, they're like, let's go with it. Yeah, that's real. So we're gonna close. This press conference. I just want to ask people who are paying attention to this and folks who might be listening at home that if you care about kids having equal schools to go to, if you care that people who work are able to join and build organizations that protect their rights and their safety, if you care about people being able to love whoever they want to love and marry whoever they want to marry, if you care about citizenship rights and civic rights, if you think that we should have regulations and allow people to vote in this country, if you believe that we should have representation, if you believe that groups who try to overthrow our capital should not be honored and praised by executives, then you actually are somebody who believes in the 14th Amendment. You believe in those values of the 14th Amendment. And what we must do right now, all of us, anyone listening to this, you should go to Popular Democracy's website, Defend the 14th. You should make sure that you're talking to your friends and neighbors. You should help make sense of what's happening on your TV screen, because they can't tell us we're not under a siege right now. They can't tell you that. They can try to confuse you about why it's happening. But the truth is, our spirit, I have friends who talk to me from other places, but the spirit of Americans, real Americans, like we are Americans. This is our country. If you believe in the values, then you have to stand up for those values. You must fight for those values. Those values are inside of the 14th Amendment. The thing that makes us and the people on this stage, the thing that gives you what we celebrate in July 4th, in this 250th anniversary of this country, the things that we celebrate around liberation and freedom on July 4th was given to the rest of us on July 9th, which is the ratification of the 14th Amendment. Go tell your neighbors, go tell people, go look it up. Look at what it says in that amendment. And then tell me if you agree with what's happening in our country right now. Our country that we will have to fight for. The future belongs to our people. We must stand on that, and these values will help us move forward to the world where we want to live, where our kids should live. So thank you all. Thank all of you. Thank all of you for coming out and supporting us and supporting this issue. All right, y'all. Thank you. It's all a different kind of prayer. You know what I'm saying?